Welcome back to the show. All right, listen. So Variety is reporting that Joaquin Phoenix abruptly dropped out of his brand new movie, which is a love story between two men just days before filming was to start. Why? Because he apparently has cold feet. So is that ever a good reason, in this case or in life, to step away from something? What do you think, Jess?
Okay, yeah, it's definitely okay. You know, let's say you want to go skydiving, you pay the deposit, and you decide last minute, you know what, I've got cold feet. Fair, you're up the deposit, no harm done. This is a particular situation, though. This was Joaquin Phoenix's idea. He went to the director, Todd Haynes, and said, hey, let's do this script together. Let's develop this story. That happens over several years, right? And so the idea of then, because it's too late to back out, because they sold the movie based on the idea that Joaquin is leading in it, so the movie's kaput. And so the very idea that hundreds of jobs are now lost, not to mention that the stakeholders are owed, they're saying 7 figures. Like, that idea alone, it would warm up my feet very quickly. I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk away.
Hot feet.
Hot feet. She got hot feet.
Arthur, does it make a difference in this case?
I think it does, because I don't want to just assume it was malicious in terms of, like, because he's been very involved from the beginning, and that's why I kind of find it difficult to get the cold feet now. Because if you brought into a project like which is already sort of created, then you have the idea of being like, oh, I didn't know exactly what I was signing up for, but you were part of the creative process, and this close to the beginning, you kind of bail out. It's like, in a creative process, you kind of want someone to be all in for it to come out on the other side. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge the privilege of being able to quit.
Oh, yeah.
Because most actors would have been put in situations where, like, I don't like this project, but this is a job. And if I don't do the job, if most actors quit this close to production, they would never work again.
Oh, yeah.
His previous success is sort of the privilege of being like, okay, I can just walk away from this and not fear of the repercussions down the road.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
He can still pay his bills. You know what? I'm on the fence about this one because I feel like I trust my gut. When my gut says no, it's an absolute no. And anytime I've ever betrayed my gut, I've always paid for it. And I'm like, I knew I wasn't supposed to do it. And sometimes you don't get that gut feeling until you're just 2 seconds before whatever you're supposed to do, whether it's going for a job, going on a date, and then all of a sudden it hits you, it's like, nah, this isn't right. So on the one hand, I don't want to insult him for following his intuition. But on the other hand, you're right. There are a lot of people who are affected by this. But sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it intuition or is it fear? And I'm wondering if this was fear. Maybe he felt overwhelmed by the whole situation as it was about to start, even though he was involved with the whole process. And it made me remember this one actor, Kingsley Ben-Adir, who played Bob Marley in the biopic. Do you guys remember this guy? He went through a very rigorous audition process to get the role, finally got it, went through like he had 9 different dialect coaches, learned how to play the guitar, lost weight to play Bob Marley. And he admitted that just before filming, after all of this had been done, he wanted to quit. He got cold feet and he was like, I can't do this. And you can understand it's an very overwhelming role to play this man that everybody loves around the world. And he ended up pushing through that fear. And in my opinion, he did an incredible job, especially with all the critics, because I know a lot of people had a lot to say. And it's like, maybe sometimes we need to push through that fear. But again, I don't want to judge him because I have walked away from things because I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is their opportunity to maybe cast a gay lead for this movie.
Yeah, true.
Something to think about?
Yeah.
I don't want to open up that can of worms, but I am with you also. I think if you cannot trust your gut, then what do you have?
If I trusted my gut, I'd still be a cashier at Gifford Farm Market. I really would be.
Okay.
My gut says every waking moment, don't do it. Just stay still. Don't talk. Don't do anything.
Wow.
So I think having cold feet is part of, and technically what we are doing is a level of performance, not on an Oscar-worthy scale yet. But the idea is, like, if you don't have cold feet, a lot of performers say don't bother if you don't have cold feet. Something's gotta motivate you.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.